Hey everyone, it's Alex, and I am here today to bring you the winners for the 23rd Screen Actors Guild Awards, as well as my review of the ceremony itself. I had meant for this video to come out a few days after the Screen Actors Guild Awards happened last Sunday, January 29th, but I got really busy with life and stuff, so I haven't had time to make and edit this video and upload it until now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal the winners of the Screen Actors Guild Awards and talk about which ones are good and which ones are bad, as well as what I thought about the ceremony. So here we go. Here are the winners for the 23rd Screen Actors Guild Awards. For the television categories, the winners were Best Male Actor in a Comedy Series, William H. Macy, Shameless. Best Female Actor in a Comedy Series, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Veep. Best Male Actor in a Drama Series, John Lithgow, The Crown. Best Female Actor in a Drama Series, Claire Foy, The Crown. Best Male Actor in a Television Movie or Limited Series, Bryan Cranston, All the Way. Best Female Actor in a Television Movie or Limited Series, Sarah Paulson, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story. Best Stunt Ensemble in a Television Series, Game of Thrones. Best Ensemble in a Comedy Series, Orange is the New Black. Best Ensemble in a Drama Series, Stranger Things. And here are the winners for the film categories. Best Male Actor in a Supporting Role, Mahershala Ali, Moonlight. Best Female Actor in a Supporting Role, Viola Davis, Fences. Best Male Actor in a Leading Role, Denzel Washington, Fences. Best Female Actor in a Leading Role, Emma Stone, La La Land. Best Stunt Ensemble of a Motion Picture, Hacksaw Ridge. Best Cast of a Motion Picture, Hidden Figures. Overall, these winners are very good for the most part. I haven't watched Shameless, so I can't judge William H. Macy's performance, although his win was a surprise because I honestly thought Jeffrey Tambor would easily win for Transparent since he won this category last year, and the Screen Actors Guild Awards are like the Emmys where they like to honor repeat winners every year. For Best Female Actor in a Comedy Series, I'm not surprised by Julia Louis-Dreyfus winning. For Best Male Actor in a Drama Series, now I really need to watch The Crown. I said that in my Golden Globes video, and I meant that I will watch it sometime. I just need to find the time to watch it. But I'm very interested in history, and I did study abroad in England, so I did learn a bit about the British monarchy and the history of it. So I'm curious to see what this show will be like. But I hear John Lithgow and Claire Foy are just fantastic as Winston Churchill and Queen Elizabeth II, respectively. And I actually did see Claire Foy in a mini-series called Wolf Hall, where she played another famous British queen, Anne Boleyn, who was the second wife of King Henry VIII and the mother of Queen Elizabeth I. For Best Male Actor in a Television Movie or Limited Series, this was a surprise win for Bryan Cranston because I honestly did not think he would be able to beat both Sterling K. Brown or Courtney B. Vance for The People vs. O.J. Simpson. But when you have two sets of nominees from two different shows, Sterling K. Brown and Courtney B. Vance for The People vs. O.J. Simpson, as well as Riz Ahmed and John Turturro for The Night Of, you can create a lot of vote splitting, and I bet that's exactly what happened here. But I've heard All the Way is fantastic, and Bryan Cranston, this is the second time he's done that production. He did a stage production on Broadway, for which he won a Tony Award, and then he did the TV movie for HBO, for which he was nominated for an Emmy, but he lost to Courtney B. Vance for The People vs. O.J. Simpson. But I'm so glad Sarah Paulson won for The People vs. O.J. Simpson for Best Female Actor in a Television Movie or Limited Series, because she was just absolutely fantastic as Marcia Clark, and she's now completed the whole TV awards cycle to win awards for. She won the Emmy, she won the Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice, and now she's won the Screen Actors Guild Award. So she's won all the top awards that she can win, and she absolutely deserved it. For Best Stunt Ensemble, no surprise for Game of Thrones winning here. even if you haven't watched the show too much like I have, you could tell that it had great stunt work. For Best Ensemble in a Comedy Series, this is the third year in a row Orange is the New Black has won. And I haven't seen too much of that show, so I can't really say anything. But I'll admit I was surprised that it beat out Veep, because I expected Veep to win since it won Best Comedy Series at the Emmys twice, and it was very relevant in terms of the fact that on that show it dealt with the aftermath of a presidential election, and we just had our own presidential election in real life. But Orange is the New Black, it's still a very popular show, and due to it being on Netflix, it can be watched by pretty much anybody. And then for Best Ensemble in a Drama Series, Stranger Things. This was a surprise too. I mean, I knew how popular Stranger Things had become, and I knew it was well liked by critics, but I didn't think it could beat out Game of Thrones or even Downton Abbey, because Downton Abbey's won this award for the last couple of years in a row pretty much, with the exception of like Breaking Bad coming in for its final season. But yeah, wow. Yeah, now I'll have to really watch Stranger Things. I've said that many times before, and I do mean I will watch it, but with this award season, I just don't have time, because right now I'm in the process of trying to watch some movies that are nominated for the Oscars. Then on the film side, Mahershala Ali and Viola Davis were both very deserving of their awards. I was very stunned by Denzel Washington winning for Fences, because up until this point it looked like it had been Casey Affleck's award to lose all the way up to the Oscars, as he won the Critics' Choice, won the Golden Globe, won several Critics Guild awards, but he didn't manage to win here. And this is where things could get interesting, because the Screen Actors Guild Award is the first award show of this award cycle where there's an overlap of voters between these awards and the Oscars, because the Critics' Choice Awards and the Golden Globes do not have any voter overlap with the Oscars. Those award shows have very different voting bodies, where the Critics' Choice Awards and the Golden Globes, their voting bodies are made up of film critics and journalists and reporters, so members of the media, while the Screen Actors Guild Awards, the BAFTAs, and the Oscars are made up of film industry professionals, actors, directors, writers, editors, producers, makeup artists, musicians, special effects artists, etc. So when you have the actual professionals vote in certain award shows, like the Screen Actors Guild Awards and the BAFTAs, it can kind of give an indication of how the awards might go and turn the tide. For instance, Sylvester Stallone seemed to be the favorite to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for Creed after he won the Critics' Choice Award and the Golden Globe. But then Idris Elba won the Screen Actors Guild Award, but because he wasn't nominated at the Oscars, he couldn't win there. And then Mark Rylance won the BAFTA for Bridge of Spies, and then he ended up winning the Oscar for that same film too. So who knows what could happen at the Oscars, but basically right now it's going to be a Casey Affleck, Denzel Washington showdown until that envelope is finally opened. For Best Female Actor in a Leading Role, this was a tough race because all these performances were really great, and well, I personally would have preferred Natalie Portman to win by just a smidge. I do think Emma Stone is excellent in La La Land, and this has also been a category that's gone back and forth between who could possibly win. Natalie Portman won at the Critics' Choice Awards, and then Isabelle Huppert won at the Golden Globe Awards for this French film called Elle. And while Isabelle Huppert did not get a Screen Actors Guild nomination, she did get an Oscar nomination. But like I said before, since the Screen Actors Guild Awards and the Oscars have a voter overlap, this puts Emma Stone as the new Oscar frontrunner. And for Best Stunt Ensemble, very glad Hacksaw Ridge won. Those battle sequences were just fantastic to watch. I'm sure some people probably might think Captain America Civil War, or Doctor Strange, or even Jason Bourne should have won just because of how they handled the really crazy action sequences that I've heard about. But the Screen Actors Guild Award, they like either realistic stunts or stunts that seem physically impossible to do. So, and I think with Hacksaw Ridge, they voted for it because of its realism, and I applaud them for that. and then Best Cast of a Motion Picture. These were all excellent choices. I've seen all these films. My personal choice would have been Moonlight, but any of these other films winning I can still be happy with, and Hidden Figures certainly had a fantastic cast. It certainly had the most starry cast, because you have Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, Janelle Monáe, Mahershala Ali, Kevin Costner, Jim Parsons, and Kirsten Dunst. So that's a pretty starry cast right there. And I finally saw Hidden Figures the other day, and it is a fantastic film. So if you've not yet seen it, please go see it, and go see Captain Fantastic, Fences, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight as well, and all the other films that were nominated here at the Screen Actors Guild Awards. So overall, this is a very good look. Even if some of the people I wanted to win didn't win, it's nothing to get mad about, because there's not like some jaw-dropping surprise that you don't understand how it could have happened, like with Aaron Taylor Johnson winning Best Supporting Actor at the Golden Globes for Nocturnal Animals. Now as for the ceremony itself. It was a very nice ceremony, very fast-paced. Screen Actors Guild Awards are usually like that because there's no host for the show and it's only for 2 hours instead of 3. They present some awards, then they do the Lifetime Achievement Award, present a few more awards, do the In Memoriam, and then present like the big awards, and then it's done. And I thought the winners gave some excellent speeches. This was a very political award show, more political than it usually is, namely due to the fact that a few days before the show, President Donald Trump issued an executive order banning Muslims from 7 countries from entering the United States, and as well as banning refugees from entering the United States. And Hollywood, of course, is a very liberal place for the most part, and many celebrities have been vocal opponents of Donald Trump both before and after he won the election. But it's not like they were calling him out by name when they took to the podium to make their acceptance speeches. But it was clear they were disapproving of his policies, because many of them in their speeches called for more inclusion in our country and for our country to be more inclusive and accepting and opening to these individuals from different countries, which is a sentiment that I most certainly agree with. And many of them shared their own personal stories about immigration or how their family has been impacted by immigration. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, for instance, revealed that her father immigrated to America to flee religious persecution from the Nazis. And also there was a talk about Muslims as well. Mahershala Ali, in his acceptance speech, revealed that he's a Muslim and that him being a Muslim doesn't prevent him from getting along fine with his mother, who's a Christian minister. So there's a nice story there about respecting religious differences in each other. And Viola Davis gave a very great acceptance speech about racial diversity, where she talked about how bold Fences is for portraying an everyday portrait of the average black family and how their dreams and hopes are just like everyone else's. As for speeches, I'd have to say these were my 5 favorites. Number 5 was Sarah Paulson. I've loved how genuinely heartfelt she's always been at winning all these awards for The People vs. O.J. Simpson, and this one was no different. And similar to what she did at the Emmys, she brought the real Marcia Clark as her date, because she played Marcia Clark in The People vs. O.J. Simpson, and she gave a nice shout out to her, which I thought was very nice. My 4th favorite speech was John Lithgow. I liked how he started to get choked up when he was talking about how hard the cast and crew of The Crown work, and he also took the time to praise Meryl Streep for her speech at the Golden Globes, where she denounced Donald Trump. In the aftermath of that speech, Donald Trump, of course, tweeted that Meryl Streep, in his opinion, was an overrated actress, which she most definitely is not, considering that she's been nominated for 20 Oscars. And then my 3rd favorite speech was Julia Louis-Dreyfus, mainly for her words about Donald Trump's immigration policies and her heartfelt story about her father being an immigrant. My 2nd favorite was Viola Davis. This woman just knows how to give a fantastic speech no matter what. She's always very emotional and very heartfelt. I love how she dedicated the award to her family, and if you watch Fences, you'll just be blown away by the power of her performance because it's just so raw and so intense, but very grounded at the same time. It never feels like she's going over the top or being melodramatic, because when you see the things that her character has to deal with, you understand exactly why she feels the way she does. But then my favorite speech of all had to be Mahershala Ali from Moonlight, because of what he talked about, as I mentioned earlier, about how in his family they're able to love each other despite the fact that he's a Muslim and his mother's a Christian, and a Christian minister, no less. And there's always a lot of religious conflicts in our country and all over the world, and I do think as a world, we need to show more religious tolerance to one another. We don't have to agree with facets of everybody's religion. I certainly don't, but I respect people's religious beliefs nonetheless. And I also liked how he talked about the complexity of his character in Moonlight, because his character is the kind of person who normally you wouldn't give a thought to what he was saying because he's a drug dealer, but we see that that's not all who he is, and that he's only that way because tragic life circumstances forced him to be that way. Lily Tomlin, I thought, also gave a great speech when she was accepting the Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award. So I guess if I had to make a sixth spot, she would be my number 6. Actually, no, she'd be my number 7, because my number 6 would actually be the guy from Stranger Things. I don't remember what his name was, but when Stranger Things won the Best Ensemble of a Drama Series, the whole cast went up on stage, and he was the one who was accepting on their behalf, basically, and he was very energetic and, again, addressing the issues of Donald Trump and everything. His speech was very, very long, which was partly why it wasn't in my top 5, but it was very energetic, got the crowd on their feet, and watching him, I'm like, wow, how does he have the energy to do that kind of a speech? Because if that were me, I'd be out of breath. But if you go on YouTube and type in like Stranger Things SAG Awards, I'm sure you'll easily be able to find it. So the ceremony itself was really good, and the winners, for the most part, gave really good speeches, and overall it was another great Screen Actors Guild Awards ceremony. So if you guys watched the show, please let me know what you thought of the ceremony and who your favorite winners were. And please subscribe to my channel so that you can get more of my new videos as soon as they're uploaded. And stay tuned in the next few days for my Oscar nominations video, where I will go over in detail what I like and what I don't like. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye!